What's up? What's up? What's up? Give people some more time to get in here. Whoever's watching, if y'all can hear me, put a 1 in the chat if everything sounds good. Let me know. Got an interesting show today. Set my light up. There we go. What's up? What's up? All right, we good. I'm glad my sound is working, man. When I first started doing this, I got a MacBook and I also have a PC, like a regular computer that I was using for my last job, whatever like that. And nothing works with MacBooks. It's so crazy. Like you think you get a MacBook and stuff is supposed to work with it, but when things get updated and come out, and like you need to hook something up to a MacBook, it's not the wave. You know what I mean? What's up? What's up? KC, what's going on? David Molina, I appreciate it. Austin Peterson, what's going on? Appreciate y'all being here. All right. Nah, Macs don't play well with others at all. You always need some type of adapter or something. I got one of these little things. You don't even see it. I got to get one of these just to hook something up to it. But we good though. All right. Hey, I hope y'all been enjoying my live videos, man. Listen, don't forget to send me questions. If y'all got something you want to talk about, let me know, because I got some things that I have written down, but I'd like to hear from what you guys want to talk about too. So let me turn my phone off. The draft is going on tonight, so I'm finding out everybody who's getting drafted. My thing is, I don't even know any of these players, first of all. All right, so look, let's get into it. Why you shouldn't skip too many days. I'm going to try and keep this one brief. Hopefully we can be in here and stay under like 15 minutes this time. But you know, if it goes over, it goes over. You know what I mean? All right. So anyway, why you shouldn't skip too many days. Now, I got 5 reasons. None of these are in any particular order, but you know, I'm gonna try and give you some generic answers. And I'm sure you guys have things like, oh, well, it throws you off, blah, blah, blah. But there's some other reasons why you shouldn't skip too many days. You know, like there's some scientific reasons, especially when it comes to building muscle, mentally, and just being consistent on your body parts. It really can affect you if you're on and off. If you're one of those people that's on and off and you worked your shoulders and you haven't worked them in 2 weeks, but you still go to the gym or you do certain things, you just skip them. You know what I mean? Like, I understand how that can be, especially when it comes to body parts that we don't really care too much about, like calves or like forearms, or like even with myself, I try now to work my biceps more often, and I also work my neck. Like I've been doing things but I'll skip them. You know what I mean? I'll skip them. And it's crazy because it'll really make you disproportionate. If you look at some people online, or if you look at some of your friends, you know, even guys who like are serious competitors, you know, or serious guys who dudes in your gym who really bodybuild, you can tell if they skip body parts. Now, I'm not saying you don't work out. I'm just saying when you skip parts, it can really mess you up. You know what I'm saying? In the long run, especially when it comes down to, you know, looking like you want to look. But let me break down 5 reasons why you don't want to skip too many days, and I'll try and help you, you know, combat the ways that you can actually be more effective and not skip so many. You know what I mean? I'll give you my perspective. Now, the first thing is that it throws off your schedule. I prefer, if you're gonna work out, I say do 3 days. Like I think 3 days at a minimum is safe. You can't really mess up 3 days. You can do a upper body day, lower body day, upper body day, chest, shoulders, triceps one day, legs, abs on the next day, back, biceps, and we good. That's 3 days. You know what I mean? Like if you can figure out some type of compound lifts to do in between there, 3 days is that's a good safe baseline. I'm just trying to maintain and keep my body, you know, in shape type of thing. That's a good thing to shoot for. What happens is if you start shooting for more, you know, you'll get overwhelmed. And when you start getting overwhelmed trying to do 5, 6, 7, 8 days, you know, and going in a row back to back, you'll get overwhelmed. And then once you do that, you'll be like, all right, I'm too sore. I need to take some time off. And when you start taking that time off, it can really start throwing off things, and it can throw off your schedule because you don't know, you don't know when you're supposed to be there. You don't know if you worked something too long ago. So all of those things are things you need to keep in mind when you're working out. And if you're working out too many days, that may be working against you. So 3 days as a baseline, that won't get you overwhelmed. I think you can really break down and get a lot done in 3 days anyway. Personally, I only do 4 days. You know what I'm saying? 3 days is when I'm really not feeling it. But 4 days, I can normally get in 4 days. And like what I'm doing right now, just to kind of put my size back on, is I'm doing my back and my biceps. I'm doing my abs and my triceps. I'm doing my chest and my shoulders, and I'm doing my legs and getting my legs on one day. So those are 4 days. And for me, I can do those things, you know what I'm saying? Because and I can get real specific with my triceps on those days and I'm doing my abs, because they're like two complete different things. And so it's great because I can just focus on them. And if I need some more time, I can hit a bicep too. But realistically, I can I can take an ab day and I can take a tricep day and add it somewhere else. And so 3 days I can get all my work done. So keep that in mind. You don't need to overwhelm yourself to the point where you don't even want to come back in the gym for a couple of days because you're so burnt out. Okay, so that's the first thing, which is don't bite off more than you can chew, pretty much. Okay. All right. Now the second thing is your muscles need consistent tear down to regrow. All right. Now this is what muscle and with cardio too. So your muscles need to consistently be torn down. And a lot of times when you skip the gym, you can't grow like that because your muscles need to be consistently torn. As soon as they recover, they need to tear down again. As soon as they recover, they need to tear down again. And and recovery is the food and taking the time off so where they're not sore anymore. You know what I'm saying? So you want to take your BCAAs or whatever, and you want to take your food in. If you can do these things, then that's cool. But if you tear them down and then stay off it for a while and then try and come back again, it never got a chance to grow. Or maybe it was growing and then you stopped too soon. So you have to be very careful with the way muscle works, especially if you're trying to put on a shape. Like if you're trying to get your shoulders bigger, if you're trying to get your triceps bigger, if you're trying to do something very specific, you don't want to skip too many days. I was looking online and I saw a video a couple days ago, and it was like natural bodybuilders need to lift 3 days a week or hit a body part 3 days a week in order to grow. Man, that's a lot of days, man. Like, who got time for that, man? Who trying to work out? Who trying to hit a body part 3 days a week? I mean, I got to live in the gym. And how can you even, I'd be so sore that I probably would break apart. I don't even see what the purpose of that is. Now, I can understand maybe if I wanted to do, split up my legs or something like that, like a hamstring glute day and then like a quad day. I can understand that. That's 2 different days, and a calf day, something like that. But if you just biceps, Monday, Wednesday, Friday biceps, that's crazy. So I don't know what type of recovery medicine you taking if you're doing 3 days on the same body part, but no, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need it like that. Now with cardio, on the other hand, you don't want to skip too many days because it can really ruin your schedule. Cardio, you got to get in the flow, right? But the thing is about cardio, if you're somebody who's trying to come down in size, it's very beneficial for you to be consistent, because early on when you're doing cardio, especially fasted cardio, that cardio is going to start trying to get at that extra food that you have stored in you. And so after a while, you're going to need that cardio to really start taking away the fat. But first, it's going to have to start going through all the extra BS and the foods that you got in you and just getting acclimated to being able to do it. Your body has to get used to running. I remember when I was doing cardio, when I was getting ready for my shows, when I was doing fasted cardio, the first maybe 3 or 4 weeks, I couldn't even see any physical change. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't that my stomach was getting tighter. Other areas might get tighter. You might get tighter wherever you lose weight first. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might get tighter in your obliques or your lats first, or you might, you'll see after a while people start getting a sunken in face, or, but any area. So it just depends. So you can't get discouraged by the way, you're not seeing results when you're doing cardio. But I think that if you really want to, improve, do that cardio, you know what I'm saying? And don't fall off from it, because it can really throw you off. As soon as you stop doing cardio, you're not going to want to do it no more. Trust me. Like, I haven't done cardio in months. You know what I'm saying? It's because I don't want to. Like, now I'm not in the mood, but I will go outside and do something. I will go ride my bike, or I will go, walk somewhere, something like that. Like, I will do some type of cardio, but I won't physically get on my stepper and just get busy. But, if I'm getting ready for something and I've been thinking about competing again, then maybe I will. So it's something to keep in mind. Okay. Now, the third thing is you throw off your eating when you don't work out, because that fuel is supposed to be used. And that food is supposed to be used as fuel. So if you're not working out and you're just eating, then that food isn't going towards recovering any muscles. See what I'm saying? Because your muscles aren't torn down. So if you need your muscles torn down, in order for them to grow, rest. But in order for them to recover, yes, they need to be torn down. But in order for them to recover, they need that food to continue to grow. So if you're not working out consistently, it don't matter that you're eating clean, because all that eating clean could be worthless. You know what I'm saying? You could be eating clean and it don't apply to nothing because you wasn't working out effectively to feed the muscles because they weren't torn down. If you don't tear them down and they just sitting still, what's happening with the food? It's just going and bouncing off the muscle. Oh, we don't need it. We don't need, muscle saying we don't need you to help us build because we're good. Nobody's worked us in a while anyway. You know what I'm saying? So now your body part isn't growing. So keep that in mind. You know what I mean? And reverse psychology that if you're somebody who wants a body part to grow, okay, you got to beat it down and you got to make sure you're eating. And that's with anything. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't want it to grow, like if you don't want your abs to grow, beat them down, but don't eat heavy on those days. If you want your butt to grow, work your glutes, but then eat heavy on those days. So keep in mind like that. Same thing with shoulders. You know what I'm saying? If you want your chest to grow, you want your back to grow, like big muscle groups. If y'all are lifting and you getting busy in the gym and you really lifting heavy, on those back days, you need to be going out to a diner right after. You know what I'm saying? Or eating big. Like y'all need to be really putting that food in your system because the back is a huge muscle. Same thing on your leg day. Like my thing was normally after a back day, I was going to get catfish and waffles after that day. You know what I'm saying? And eggs. Like first thing. That's my back day meal. You see what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that you're feeding those muscles that want to get big. But if you're not tearing them down, then there's no reason for them things to grow. So keep that in mind, okay? All right. The fourth thing is getting out of shape is easier than getting in shape. And I don't know how many of you can attest to this, but if you fall off, you know what I'm saying? It's very easy to fall off and get into your routine and not doing anything. And I think this is where, okay, the mental side comes in because, falling off is nothing. You can stay out of the gym and next thing you know what I mean? It's been 2, 3, 4 months and trying just to get back into the routine of things is a headache in itself, right? So if you just never fall off, it's a lot easier to maintain that shape. And I know that's, hard to say, like, just never fall off. But realistically, if you shoot low and don't shoot for the, shoot for the moon and like, I got to work out 6, 7 days, you say to yourself, worst case scenario, I got to be able to do at least, 2 to 3 days a week. Like, and I know a lot of y'all like to skip legs. Do your legs early. Do your legs early on in the week. You know what I mean? And the reason I say do your legs, and I'm so adamant about doing your legs, is because as a guy, if you're a man watching this, the legs is where you create your testosterone. So if you want to grow, you got to do legs. You can't not do legs. You know what I mean? Like the rest of your body has to generate testosterone to put in your whole body. So if you want your body to start using what it needs, you got to be squatting and lifted and doing things that require those leg muscles to help you, build testosterone. So keep that in mind too, okay? And that testosterone then goes towards other muscles, not just the legs, right? So make sure you're doing your legs. Do those early. And then the other days, chill out. You know what I mean? And don't forget to, I hope everybody who's watching this actually works abs. Please, I pray that y'all actually work your abs. Don't forget them, okay? It's an easy exercise to overlook, but it's the one that we all look at first when somebody takes their shirt off. So just do your abs, man. Like do those 2 things early, and then the rest of the week, then you can get busy with the other stuff. Don't try just to get wide so that you can skip doing your midsection. Do your abs too, and then it makes everything look a lot better when you're flowing symmetrically. All right. But when you get out of shape and you fall off and you got to start from scratch, it's a lot tougher. So try to avoid it at all costs. And if you've ever been through that before, remember, you don't want to go through that feeling again. Okay. All right. Now, the last thing is the fifth thing is stopping and starting is pointless stress. So what I mean by that is if you're the type of person that you might stop after a couple months, you probably don't even need to start. You know what I mean? Because it's an unrealistic goal for you. Maybe it's just not the right time for you, and then trying to add that idea of, oh, I didn't make it to the gym today. Oh, I didn't go. Oh, I didn't work out. Oh, I didn't. Sometimes it's just not your season. And so pressuring yourself to try to do something that you need to do, okay, it's commendable, but it's not the right time. Normally, it's always better when you get your mind wrapped around and you got your mind right and you're like, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back into the gym and I'm going to make it a habit. Then it's a lot easier to, feel more comfortable doing something consistently versus if it's, knocking on your shoulder, pressuring you. Hey, you need to go in the gym. You need to go. When your conscience is on you like that, it's a lot harder. You see what I'm saying? So, it's stress that you don't necessarily need. Get your mind together. And if you decide that you're going to start, just start and just do 3 days. 3 days is not, that's not a lot. Like you could pull off 3 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. You can pull off 3 days. And I'm not saying you got to do cardio like that too, but if you know you're the type of person that don't do cardio, you could do 3 days of cardio. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really not that serious. Just try to squeeze it out. Try your best. Maybe 2 days. Don't even have to do 3 days. Just try to do 2 days. But if you keep your numbers low and have your expectations low, your baseline will always be good, and it'll be a lot easier than falling off all the time if you stopping and starting and stopping and starting. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind, and I hope these things help you guys, just to not stress out and why you shouldn't take too many days off, because it can definitely start messing with your mind, and trying to get back into the routine of it all is crazy, because what you'll do is you'll go to the gym 1 week and be looking good when you leave out of there, then you come back 2 weeks later and you be like, what in the world? Like, I got to start all the way over. So anyway, all right, let's read some of these comments. Saul, you said, I followed a strict diet and workout program. Instead of gaining size, I started shrinking. What were you doing wrong? Maybe your diet was too strict. You know what I'm saying? Maybe your diet was too strict. Sometimes it's not. If you're small, or if you're trying to put on size, you don't necessarily need to be dieting. Why you dieting means that you're trying to get down. So you trying to get down but put on size at the same time. That's not necessarily necessary. And the thing is, it's not a bad thing, because here's my take on that. I would rather you get to your leanest, see what you look like at your leanest anyway, and then bulk from there. That way you know that you have a complete body to start going with, versus coming down and just up and down and fluctuating, and you don't really know what your body looks like and landing at a number when it's all said and done. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather you just come on and come down. So I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I know, like, for me, I fasted first. When I was losing weight, when I first started trying to, get busy, I came all the way down as far as I could, and then I put on from there so that I could see what I look like at my leanest, and then I'm masked up from my leanest. You know what I mean? So maybe it's not such a bad thing that you're losing. So keep that in mind. You said, Gerald Draymond, you said, so this is my schedule. Day 1, chest, shoulders, and biceps. No. Day 2, abs, triceps. Day 3, legs. Well, yeah, you can do that. That's perfect. I do 4. But for you, if you want to do chest, shoulders, and maybe if you want to do your chest, shoulders, and just chest and shoulders, that would be enough. I think I would do like a arm day together or something like that. Maybe like your back. Did you put back in there? Nah, you didn't put back in there. So I would do a back day, and maybe a bicep day, and maybe an ab day, and then maybe like a leg day and something else if you want to do something else again, like a leg and second day of biceps or something like that. So the little muscles, group them together, but the big ones, spread them out. You know what I mean? So you don't want to be, if you want to do your biceps twice that week, you could do them earlier in the week and then do your back at the end of the week, so that your back can clean up extra bicep stuff too. But that's if you really get busy. David Malin, you said leg raises and dragonflies are what you do for abs. Any recommendation? All I do is leg raises. I do side raises for my obliques, because I realized that the key to having a great set of abs isn't just the abs from the front, it's the obliques. Nobody has obliques. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know me, I'm big on whatever you don't have, I want it. You know what I'm saying? So if you missing something, I'm about to have what you don't have. That way I can look better than you. That's the way I see things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not working hard. I'm just working smart. So I like to hit obliques and do things like, if I can do hanging leg raises and twist to the side, or leg raises where I'm just bringing my knees up to the middle and then bring them up to the side, I'll do those. I do a lot of side planks or side raises, and I'll just get in a side plank position and do these. And I also do the other ones when you come to your side. I can't remember what those are called. The V raises or the V ups or whatever you guys call them. The side ones, but for your obliques. I do a lot of oblique stuff. So obliques, leg raises is all you need for abs though. I don't recommend doing other stuff. I'll do some ab wheel stuff. Lately, I've been doing ab wheel, but that's because I'm trying to get my abs a little more bulky versus just having them look, long and flat. So keep that in mind. All right. Delvin, you said you got COVID and you've been out for 10 days. What did you start with? You've been out for 10 days. Just stay out for a little bit longer. Recover, take your time off, let your body get back together, and then start off with just cardio again. And my thing is this: if you had a long break, if you're somebody who's had a chance to take a long break, the good thing about taking a long break is that when you come back, you can do it right this time. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Like, you can come back, you got scratch again. So now that we back at scratch, you don't have to start off with the same thing that messed you up the last time that made you fall off. So remember, you know what I'm saying? Work smarter. You back at scratch. If you have rock bottom, there's only one way to go from rock bottom, and that's up. So if you do all the right things when you come back, get back into it, go to your baseline, start doing your calisthenics first, do your pull-ups, do your push-ups, do your squats, you know what I'm saying, and do your cardio, build that fundamental foundation from there, get that baseline body, and then start putting on the mass, you know what I'm saying? So if you got a chance to take off some days, go back to those again, build up from the ground up, you know what I'm saying? That's what I would do. That's what I've done. Y'all seen me do it from scratch. And I'm up to 197 right now. Just so that y'all know, I'm trying to get to 205, and once I get to 205, then I'm going to shoot the footage for the course. So I'm putting together a course that's going to be teaching you guys how to put on sides from scratch, and I'm gonna shoot it. I'm gonna be in it myself. I got my camera person, and we gonna put it together. So I'm gonna really get explicit with this one and get a lot of details and write it up and have a lot of footage on it. But I want to look good, because y'all know how it is. I don't want this thing to be out there for the rest of my life, and the next thing you know, I'm trying to do another one because I wasn't my best. So I'm getting busy. That's why I got my shirt on. I want to stay covered, and I'll do the big reveal later on when it's time. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this footage. I was at 20 minutes. I tried to finish at 15, but we did what we did. Don't forget to get your glass meal prep containers with bamboo lids. Don't forget to get your ebooks. You can click the link in the description for both of them. And also subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate y'all. And we've been growing. I'm almost up to 35,000 subscribers, so this is great. And yeah, we're doing good. Y'all go to my Instagram page, Get Fit with KB. Find me on everything at Get Fit with KB. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching.